Hello friends, welcome back to Ponniyin Selvan, episode 17. In episode 16, we saw Vandiyathevan delivering Aditya Karikala's letter to Sundara Chola, and we also saw him getting caught red-handed by Chinna Palvetariyar while attempting to deliver another secret message from Aditya Karikalar. Did he evade the confrontation? Let's watch. Chinna Palvetariyar held Vandiyathevan firmly in front of Sundara Cholar and demanded to know what he meant when he said, "Danger, danger!" Vandiyathevan thought for a brief moment and put on a coy face and said, "Danger? Danger? When did I say danger? I was starting to say changer. Changer. You're a life changer. I am the last remaining descendant of the once great Vanarkulam. We have nothing left to our name anymore, my majesty, but I humbly wish and hope you will grant me a few of our ancestral land that are currently under the Chola's control. It will be a huge help for me to restore our family's good name," said Vandiyathevan. Vanamadevi was very impressed by Vandiyathevan's modesty and humbleness. "How polite and sweet he talks. Your mother has really raised you well, young man," said Vanamadevi. Vandiyathevan immediately jumped at the opportunity. "My queen, how kind you are. You look just like Goddess Parvati Devi in my eyes. You have to plead my case to the king. Get me a few villages," said Vandiyathevan. Sundara Cholar smiled and said, "My wife seems completely bowled over. I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to adopt him as our third son. What do you say, Commander? Shall we grant him his wish?" asked Sundara Chola to Chinna Palvetariyar. "What can I say, my king? I would say it's up to Aditya Karikalar," replied Chinna Palvetariyar. That's true. Even I have few decisions to be made, and I would greatly appreciate Aditya's presence here to discuss them over. Commander, can you please send 2 mails out, one to each of my sons, asking them to come to Tanjavur at once?" said the king. "Of course, Majesty, but this man travelled a long way and arrived just now, so I will send another one of our men with the letter. Let Vandiyathevan stay with us till both our princes arrive," said Chinna Palvetariyar. "We would love to receive you here. Because of the king's health, I am sure Chinna Palvetariyar will be a much better host than me at this time. You will be very comfortable with Chinna Palvetariyar. Please take care of our guest," interjected Vanamadevi. "And of course," agreed Chinna Palvetariyar, with a menacing undertone that only Vandiyathevan understood. Chinna Palvetariyar escorted Vandiyathevan out of the throne room and took him to his chambers through the main hall. All the while chewing over everything Vandiyathevan said. Although his story checks out, Chinna Palvetariyar still had the feeling that he specifically heard danger and not changer. But he couldn't doubt Vandiyathevan completely, as he had the Palvetariyar's palm tree ring. His brother wouldn't just give it to anyone he doesn't trust. He decided to discuss it right away once his brother returns, and until then, keep a close eye on Vandiyathevan. Chinna Palvetariyar instructed a couple of his men to take Vandiyathevan to the guest chambers and provide him with a fresh set of clothes. "I'm sure you're tired after your long journey. Get refreshed and have some food. I'll see you later," said Chinna Palvetariyar. Once Vandiyathevan left the room, another servant came forward with a letter he found on the floor. Chinna Palvetariyar immediately read it. It was another letter from Aditya Karikalar to Kundavai, and the letter said that the person bearing the letter is a very clever, trustworthy person and that he can be trusted with even the utmost secret. The letter made Chinna Palvettariya furious. He folded it and put it in his pocket. In the guest chambers, Vandiyadevan received royal treatment. He was given new clothes and delicious foods. Aha! Vandiyadevan relished them. After refreshments, Vandiyadevan was taken to the art gallery to pass his time. The guards stayed outside and started playing checkers on the ground. Inside the gallery, there were paintings depicting the life and achievements of the Cholas over several centuries. Vandiyadevan realized that the Palvettariya family has been playing a significant role in all the Cholas' victories. Suddenly, he wondered, where is his old clothes? And if Chinna Palvettariya instructed his servants to inspect for more letters or hidden messages. Does he suspect what I am up to something? Is that why he sent these guards to watching me? I must escape before Periya Palvettariya gets back, or they will discover that he didn't give me the ring. So, can't I meet with Nandini? No, that's not important now. Come on, focus, Vandiyadevan. How do I escape? Let's start a commotion, thought Vandiyadevan. He went outside the gallery and demanded his old clothes from the guards outside. But the guards said that the clothes have been sent to wash. Vandiyadevan insisted he needs his clothes back and started walking towards the guest chambers, and one of the guards, unaware of a hero's temper, tried to stop him by grabbing his shoulder firmly. Vandiyadevan did not need any more provocation than that. Vandiyadevan clasped the guard's arms, twisted it, and landed a punch right on his face. Seeing this, another guard ran towards Vandiyadevan, but he was one step ahead of him. He twirled around and landed a firm kick on the knees, making the guard fall on his face. The third guard tried to jump and land a kick, but Vandiyadevan simply stepped out of the way, grabbed him in the air and threw him on the other way. It took a few minutes for the guards to shake off their disorientation and to get back on their feet. And this time, all three tried to grab him at the same time. But before Vandiyadevan could do anything, Chinna Palvettariya entered the scene. As if the three men were not trying to hold him down, Vandiyadevan walked forward swiftly and complained to Chinna Palvettariya. Highness, your men are thieves. They stole my clothes and other possessions. Chinna Palvettariya was quite amazed by Vandiyadevan's strength. He said to Vandiyadevan, "Patience, young man. I will inquire. Wait." And to the guards he said, "You do realize you cannot hold him down. So, why bother? Just let him go." He waved them away. One of the guards said, "Majesty, you asked us to take his old clothes away. Now he's attacking us for it." Chinna Palvettariya was taken back. He said, I only asked you to give him a new set of clothes. I never said anything about his old ones. Now tell me, why do you need your old clothes? Do you have anything important in it?" asked Chinna Palvettariya. "Yes, I had some gold coins," Vandiyadevan replied. "How much was there? I will replace it," said Chinna Palvettariya. Not just coins, there was another letter written by Aditya Karikalar to Kundavai Devi. If you wish to read the letter, like you read the letter meant for Sundara Chola, go ahead. You can explain why to the prince. That's not my concern. But I need the letter back," said Vandiyadevan firmly. Chinna Palvettariya calmly replied, "You are young and obtuse. You don't understand the precautions I have to take as the palace commander. I have to take extraordinary steps for our king's safety. Otherwise, The Pandya royal guards would have succeeded in assassinating the king long back. Oh, then what I heard is true, said Vandiyadevan. Why? What did you hear? Asked Chinnapalvettar. I heard that some people are conspiring against our king and our crown prince, said Vandiyadevan, hinting at Palvettariyar's secret meeting held at Kadambur Palace. Vandiyadevan's words stung Chinnapalvettariyar, but he composed himself, decided not to engage in this conversation anymore, and said, You want your clothes, right? I'll fetch them myself, he said and left. Chinnapalvettariyar was back in 2 minutes with a person next to him carrying Vandiyadevan's clothes in a tray. Vandiyadevan dashed and checked all his belongings. The missing letter was back with his gold coins and more. Vandiyadevan figured that Chinnapalvettariyar had read the letter and replaced it, but he couldn't understand why there were excess gold coins than he already had. Do you have everything? Asked Chinnapalvettar, and Vandiyadevan said, Yes, but there are more coins than I had before. I am Prince Aditya Karikalar's messenger. I won't take money from anyone, he said, and separated the extra coins and left them on the table. But Chinnapalvettariyar insisted that he takes the coins as a personal gift from him. Vandiyadevan hesitantly accepted it. Chinnapalvettariyar asked if he wishes to meet Princess Kundavai next, but Vandiyadevan replied, No, I would rather stay back and meet Periyapalvettariyar tonight, then meet Kundavai tomorrow morning. Chinnapalvettariyar was glad about the plan. So, when Vandiyadevan asked if he can tour around the palace to pass his time, Chinnapalvettariyar replied, Of course. Take these 2 men with you. They will show you around, he said, pointing to 2 of his men, and gave few orders to them silently in their ears. He also instructed Vandiyadevan not to leave the palace, as the gates were about to close shortly and he can't return later if he left. Vandiyadevan took off with his 2 guards. He decided he had to shake them off and get out of the palace. All the way, Vandiyadevan kept inquiring, Whose chamber is this? Who lives there? And what shop is that? Etc., etc. When they neared the entrance, Vandiyadevan noticed an army of men marching out through the gates. They were none other than the king's guard, leaving the palace for the night just like last evening. Vandiyadevan quickly decided that this was his gateway. He asked the 2 men, Who are these people? But before they could answer, he mingled with them and joined in their chorus shouting, Long live the king! Long live the Cholas! The men could still see Vandiyadevan, but they didn't want to interfere the march. So they kept walking along closely, watching Vandiyadevan. Just as they were crossing, a woman selling buttermilk from a pot carried over her head, Vandiyadevan knocked it down, creating a distraction, and started running away from the men following him. Since the men were on the other side of the army, when they went around to reach the other side, Vandiyadevan had already fled. Vandiyadevan started running into the nearby woods without looking back. Since it was already late in the evening, the woods were dark and Vandiyadevan ran, not knowing where he ran. But after a while, he came to a stop in front of a very high, impregnable wall and realized that they were the palace wall. Vandiyadevan did not know how to get past the wall, so he decided to wait for the moonlight to show him a way. He knows by now Chinnapalvettariyar would have already been alerted of his escape and he would have sent a whole army in search of him. But there was no point in running around the woods aimlessly. So he sat down, leaning on the walls, waiting for the moonlight to show him a way. With this ends our today's episode. Where did Vandiyadevan go from here? Let's watch next week. Keep watching Kadhatellaporom. Until then, bye bye.